your organization there. There we go.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I could start. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Jones, and this is Veteran Warrior One Stop Shop. I'm your host, and my co-host is also my sister in arms, Sarah. Say hello, Sarah.
Hello, everyone.
I'm going to start off by kind of giving everybody a fill-in of events and things getting ready to happen, and then me and Sarah's going to go in discussion. I'm going to let her take the lead on that. But right now, as I know, July 29th, 30th, and 31st in Makanda, I believe is how you pronounce it, Illinois, Hope Stock. It's a good cause. It's for Brian. He is the founder of Operation Die Hard. And what he's trying to do is an amazing thing. There's going to be vendors, events, it's talent, people singing. Like, it's going to be an awesome time. So, and we will have a virtual event, but it's also going to be a physical event. So if you're in the area, feel free to stop by. If you would like to be a vendor or a sponsor, get in touch with me or Sarah. We'd love to get you in touch with Brian. Like I said, his organization's a good guy. Our organizations all kind of work together because we're all brothers and sisters in arms. So we're trying to help each other and make sure we got their six. But once again, Hope Stock, and I think it's Makanda, Illinois, July 29th, 30th, and 31st of the great year of 2022. It will be virtual and it will be physical events. So make sure to check it out. If you're not able to go there, check it out online. Also, JR, he will have more details as it comes up. JR and I believe Brian I believe just JR and Brian's going to be joining in on them, but they're going to be doing a Veterans Day event this year. Like I said, I'll find out more details. July 22nd, I believe there's also like an online party, I would say, that's going to kind of be a precursor and a workup to the Hope Stock. So be on the lookout for that and the details on that as well. And then also the other event will be next year. The location is to be determined right now. It's came down in between Nashville, Tennessee and Phoenix, Arizona. We'll keep you updated on that as we further go. Because I'm looking right now to get sponsors and stuff to travel to the U.S. and start filming this documentary. But we'll close that out with all that information. I'll reiterate that again at the end of the podcast. But Sarah, the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, I'd like to add on to what you just said there about Hope Stock. Hope Stock is an event that is presented by Project Die Hard. Project Die Hard is founding, or is in the process of already founding, the Fab Rush, which is named in honor of Staff Sergeant Courtney Rush, who succumbed to suicide. And what Brian is trying to do is raise awareness of veteran suicide. Every 90 minutes, a vet commits suicide. That is something that we need to work together to change. And on the subject of health, I wanted to speak with Justin tonight about the importance of veteran caregivers. That means that somebody, whether it's a family member, friend, or otherwise a battle buddy, steps up and takes care of a disabled vet, whether that's physically, mentally, or just being a check-in buddy, to make sure that they're taking care of their mental health and making their appointments at the VA, and that they're not forgetting to do that, whether it's at the VA or through the choice program, so that they can see private caregivers. It's extremely important, especially as we come upon May being Mental Health Month, that we remind all of our veteran community and all of our caregiver community to take a moment and, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You can't give from an empty cup.
Yep. Yeah, the caregiver thing, and a lot of people, a caregiver can be anybody. Like it can be like when it comes to the VA, you're literally your wife can be your caregiver. Anybody can be your caregiver, and if you meet certain criteria, that caregiver can actually get paid. And if it happens to be the wife, that actually helps the financial situation of the vet and his family himself. So that's a good thing. But when it comes to finding, if you got to find outside care, that's when it gets a little sketchy, because there are some people out there that, I mean, especially in that field, I've heard, I've seen, but you really need to do your homework when you're trying to find somebody to be your caregiver, because you don't want to get the wrong kind of person. And I think Sarah can probably agree to that, because, with veterans, the caregiving's a little different. You got to be a little bit more unique and different with how you approach the situation.
I would have to agree with that. I am the accountability buddy as well as the caregiver to a vet. And being on both ends of that spectrum, what you said is very important, making sure that you find the right person, that you're doing your homework on them, that they are, in it for the right reasons. Myself, I'm the accountability buddy for my best friend. I have helped him come back from the edge 5 different times. And now it's my responsibility, as it were, to make sure that he takes care of himself. Because no matter what we may think, even if we're going through those dark times and don't realize that there are people out there that care, each and every one of us, whether in the veteran community or, in the civilian community, is important to another person. And like I said, just like with mental health coming up, mental health awareness month coming up, I think it's important that we focus on that for a moment and just take a moment to realize that each and every one of us has somebody, whether it's spouse, friend, brother, sister, anybody. You are important to someone.
Very much true. Very much true. Everybody's important. Don't ever doubt yourself when it comes to that. Like, I haven't never personally had a caregiver or been a caregiver. Well, I mean, I technically, in a sense, was a caregiver for my mom, but I wasn't paid. I just helped her. But and of course she was a veteran, and that's when she was sick. But how is your experience, Sarah, as a caregiver, like especially with veterans? Like, kind of give me an idea of what a typical day would be like as a caregiver for a vet.
Well, depending on the role that I'm taking care of during that particular day, I'll use my best friend as an example. He's still able to be his own guardian and everything like that. He's still able to hold a job. He just has a lot of issues with his PTSD, where he literally will forget to make appointments, or he'll forget to take his medication. He'll forget, what day it is, for example. So my typical day for him is like to check in with him around 4 a.m. We both get up around the same time. And I check in with him around 4 and make sure that he's going where he says that he's going, so that we can kind of keep track of one another. In case he does have an episode where he needs to reach out, I'm available and always there. And for my fiance, for example, he has a total of 19 years, and he tried to get mental help during his time in service and was told that he was completely fine. As a matter of fact, the VA called him the perfect patient. because he answered all of their questions just the way that they wanted to hear. But in reality, he was still suffering by himself, essentially, with nightmares, flashbacks, night sweats, all the typical signs, symptoms, and warning signs that you may experience. And so my day with him is making sure that he's kept on task, making sure that he doesn't forget things. Again, that's a big part of it for me, is making sure that he knows what day it is, what needs to be done today. Kind of keeping him in that routine, making sure that he's taking care of himself, essentially. And we do that for one another as well. You're muted there, bro.
I was trying to make sure I didn't get a reverb, but basically, as you see with Sarah, she helps with two different veterans, but yet two different methods of how she's got to handle it.
Absolutely. And one of the
Yep.
most important things to remember is that you're not taking care of someone who might be older and it could just, sit in front of the television all day doing nothing. You're taking care of someone who is still capable of having all of their faculties and might, be a little bit cantankerous and cranky throughout the day, but they're still very much highly functional. They just need a little bit of extra support.
That is true. Well, because of certain situations, we did have to change the name of the show, but that will be trademarked soon. But today we're gonna make this kind of short because we're having to do some tinkering because of the name change and stuff. But I do want to thank my co-host Sarah for coming on today. It's always nice to see her.
Pleasure to help you out.
No, I very much appreciate it. Since you know a little bit more, because I can't never remember, tell a little bit about Zach, and then I'll finish off with the rest of the stuff, and we'll call it a day.
All right. Well, Mr. Zach Clayton makes it possible for us to share this particular podcast on the PAC channel. The PAC channel stands for Podcasts All Coming Together. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to create sort of a training program for people with disabilities to be able to get into the media field. So like podcast engineering, podcast, audio, broadcasting, and giving them the opportunity and the training to do that.
And also, like I was saying earlier, July 22nd, there's going to be it's like a pre-event before Hope Stock. It's going to be virtual. Check it out. It's going to be amazing. I believe it's going to be another 24-hour podcast, so please check it out. Following that will be Hope Stock, July 29th, 30th, and 31st in Makanda, Illinois. It will be virtual and physical, so if you want to go to it physically, there will be an event. But if you're not able to be there, please check it out. We'll be able to post the links in the future for the event. And also looking, if you want to be a vendor, sponsor, you just want to donate, let us know. Get in contact with me or Sarah. Comment on the video and give us the information to get in contact with you, and we'll help you out with that. Following that, JR has an event. There'll be more details on it, but I do know they're going to do some kind of Veterans Day event. So like I said, as soon as I find more information, I will let y'all know. And also, you have our event, which is Save 22 on 22. Nothing's been set in stone as far as the location, but that will be found out in the next month. And after that, it's just finishing up the rest, but it will either be Nashville or Phoenix, Nashville, Tennessee, or Phoenix, Arizona. But with that, once again, my name is Justin Jones with my co-host Sarah. This is Veteran Warrior One Stop Shop. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe and see you soon.